Hello everyone. In this video I will discuss one of the films called Memory of Water, 2022, and never forget that I always pray for you and your family to be happy and healthy always. In the year 72 of the New Age, after nuclear war and global disasters, the world faces a shortage of fresh water. The remaining water is controlled by the government, which has adopted a military dictatorship. The story revolves around a woman named Noria, who resides in a small village. On that day, the entire village, along with military forces, is conducting a funeral ceremony for Noria's father. Noria's father was a renowned tea maker, and in this water crisis era, tea has become the most luxurious beverage. Shortly after, Noria's mother, named Lian, arrives to participate in the ceremony. Both Noria and Lian are devastated after losing the man they love the most. After the ceremony, Lian asks Noria if she wants to serve by teaching at the university with her, but Noria responds by asking why her mother doesn't stay in the village. Lian immediately takes a heritage book that belonged to Noria's late father and gives it to Noria. The book contains various ways to become a tea expert, and Noria feels delighted to follow in her father's footsteps. Afterward, Noria rides her bike to visit her friend's house. The environment where Noria lives is extremely arid, with only wild plants able to grow amid high pollution levels. Noria pauses when she sees a man arrested by security officers. The man is taken to his residence, along with evidence of stealing a bag of water. The officers also mark a red circle on his house wall, signifying that the man is a water criminal to be wary of in the community. Noria arrives at her friend Sanya's house, catching her in the act of tampering with the government's clean water pipe. Noria immediately advises Sanya to stop, as the discovery could lead to everyone in the house, including Sanya's small sibling, being labeled as water criminals. Sanya doesn't comment on Noria's advice, but she leaves her little sibling Minya in Noria's care and borrows Noria's bike. Sanya goes off on the bike, ignoring government advertisements offering advanced filters to purify seawater, as poor people like her can't afford such filters. Shortly afterward, Sanya arrives at a junkyard, scavenging for anything usable. In the midst of it, she finds a damaged DVD with a cassette inside, piquing her curiosity. On the other side, Minya complains of a stomachache, prompting Noria to take her to the hospital. While waiting for the doctor's call, a weak man beside Noria appears severely dehydrated. He requests a sip of water from Noria, and without hesitation, she shares her water. The man, realizing the generosity, takes only a sip. Suddenly a woman appears and steals water from the bottle. Fortunately, vigilant security officers, always on the lookout for water crimes, swiftly apprehended the woman. Sanya comes to the hospital to check on her sister. She complains to the doctor, as every time her sister complains of a stomachache, she's sent home without any action from the doctor. The doctor informs her that Minya only needs pure drinking water to recover. The doctor feels helpless and unable to provide a solution, leaving Sanya frustrated. They leave the hospital, and outside Noria is approached by Mayor Bolin, whom she already knows. Bolin was a close friend of Noria's late father. He returns Noria's stolen water bottle and informs her that a tea master from the city will test Noria as her father's tea successor. He hopes Noria passes the exam, and Noria expresses her gratitude before leaving. Upon reaching home, Lian asks Noria again if she truly doesn't want to teach at the university. Noria replies that there must be a tea expert to continue her father's legacy, as she was raised for that purpose. Her mother gives her a box as a gift from her father. Noria opens the box and finds a letter. In the letter, her father reveals the secret to making delicious tea. He includes a map and instructs Noria not to tell anyone about it. Noria believes the map indicates the location of pure water and tells Lian about it. She wants to inform people about the pure water source, but Lian, who already knows the secret, advises Noria not to act hastily. If Noria reveals the location of the pure spring, the government will take over the area. Lian wants Noria to stay focused on continuing her father's legacy as a tea expert, and then leaves Noria. After that, Noria walked alone, following the map marked by her father. She arrived at a very remote hole far from any settlement. Entering the hole, she discovered it was a cave. She continued deeper into the cave, following her father's instructions until she was awestruck by a pool of water. It was pure water, and in this era, It was more valuable than gold-filled mines. People were even willing to die to obtain this pure water. Noria drank the incredibly pure water, marveling at its taste. She filled a bottle with the water and returned home. The next day, Noria prepared for the tea master exam, where she would brew tea using the super pure water she had found. Master Timea Bolin and a soldier named Taro arrived shortly after. Noria expertly brewed her tea, enhanced by the pure hot water, making it exceptionally delightful. They drank Noria's tea, and thanks to the pure water she used, Noria passed the exam successfully. After they left, Bolin introduced Taro, who would be assigned to oversee water distribution in the village, ensuring everyone received their share. Noria went inside, feeling elated for passing the tea master exam. She returned to the spring, filled a bottle with pure water, and noticed the water level had significantly dropped. This indicated the spring was starting to dry up, and Noria realized she needed to use the water wisely. She went home to give Minya, who was sick, some pure water. Minya mentioned that the water was refreshing, unlike what she usually drank. Later, Noria saw Sanya testing the water she had just filtered. The device showed that the water was impure, indicating Sanya's water filter was no longer functional. This highlighted the problem faced by the poor in this era. They were slowly dying from consuming unfit drinking water. Sanya then invited Noria to listen to a cassette they had found in the previous junkyard. The cassette contained a recording of two scientists who were on the run from the government. The group of scientists had discovered a region with pure water in the north. The scientists shared that their expedition was perceived as a threat by the government. 8 scientists were shot dead, and they had to go into hiding. Fortunately, Noria's father, an expert tea maker, helped them hide. Anyone who listened to this recording was urged to publicize it. Sanya and Noria now realized that there was plenty of pure water in other locations, but the government had concealed it to protect their power and wealth. The government lied, claiming that the water outside was already contaminated with harmful substances. Noria returned home, reflecting on the scientists' recording. She opened a world map and looked at the Scandinavian region. In the northern part, she saw a region called Lost Land, which the government labeled as a dangerous area. Noria believed that this region was the one referred to by the scientists. Noria went to the junkyard to search for items. There she met Taro, and he asked what she was doing in that place. Noria explained that she was helping her friend find junkyard items, and this encounter made them acquainted. Noria felt that Taro was a good man working for the benefit of society, aligning with her aspirations to contribute to the community, much like her father. As they walked home together, Noria was surprised to see several aircraft heading toward her house. True enough, there were many soldiers searching Noria's house. Mayor Bolin informed her that the search was conducted because Noria was suspected of hiding the location of the pure water source. Noria refuted this by stating that the soldiers found nothing as evidence and requested that they leave. She entered the house and found it in disarray. That night, Noria went to Sanya's house. She saw soldiers arresting a man for stealing water. The increasing severity of poverty led to a rise in water-related crimes. When Noria arrived, Sanya shared the distressing news that Minya's illness was worsening, and as an older sibling, Sanya felt powerless. Without hesitation, Noria immediately took Sanya to a place, leaving Sanya bewildered about their destination. Eventually, she was surprised to see an abundant water source. Sanya drank from it and urged Noria to publicize the spring so that everyone could benefit. However, Noria disagreed with the idea. The spring would eventually dry up, and the government would likely seize control of it without distributing it for the welfare of the community. They found some junk items, and among them was a compact disc. They played the CD, discovering it was another recording of 2 scientists helped to hide by Noria's father. The scientists revealed a shocking fact. The government itself had introduced toxic microbes into the pure water. This was done to perpetuate their power, but the scientists had found a water source in the north. This news had to be publicized for the benefit of the people. They debated once again, with Sanya insisting on immediate publication, while Noria hesitated, fearing that revealing it could lead to their deaths at the hands of the government. Amidst the debate, Sanya's boyfriend appeared and asked Noria to leave. As Noria walked home, there was a sudden explosion nearby, occurring at a hospital. The government claimed terrorists were responsible, and for collective safety, a nighttime curfew was imposed. This signaled that amidst the government's dictatorship, the people were beginning to engage in underground movements to resist. Shortly after, Taro arrived, having seen Noria during the explosion. He treated Noria with care, suspecting she held a secret and realizing it when he drank her tea earlier. There was a hidden location of pure water that Noria had concealed, and Taro wanted her to publicize the location, emphasizing that water belonged to everyone. Suddenly, Noria received an emergency message from Sanya, prompting her to rush to Sanya's house. Upon arrival, Sanya's boyfriend informed her that Sanya wouldn't allow her in. Noria forcefully entered and saw that Minya had passed away. Sanya broke down in tears, deeply affected by the loss of her younger sister. While disposing of Minya's ashes, Sanya asked Noria to leave, expressing a desire to be alone after this. At night, Noria prepared to head north in search of evidence of pure water in the lost land. She sent a message to Taro to meet her urgently, as the nighttime curfew was in effect and many people were being arrested by the military. Noria hid and stealthily made her way to the meeting point with Taro. Shortly after Taro arrived, Noria hugged him and wanted to reveal the location of the spring. Unfortunately, they were discovered by the military and immediately arrested for violating the curfew. In prison, Mayor Bolin freed Noria, keeping his promise to Noria's late father to protect her. He provided her with a fake identity and urged her to leave immediately. As Noria was about to leave, Taro suddenly stabbed Bolin from behind. Taking Noria to a room, Taro forcibly demanded the location of the hidden spring. He revealed that he was a government-assigned army commander and had to kill Bolin for betrayal. Feeling that Taro's love was insincere, Noria refused to disclose the location and attacked Taro, causing him to faint. Noria quickly left the room, armed with the fake identity and access from Mayor Bolin. She found a military truck, drove it, and went straight to Sanya's house. Noria convinced Sanya to join her on a mission to inform everyone about the abundant water source and end the government's dictatorship. Leaving the village towards the border, they encountered numerous soldiers guarding the border. Noria instructed Sanya to hide, while she disguised herself in military clothing. With the fake identity, Noria appeared as a military captain, and the guards allowed her to continue the journey. They embarked on a long journey to the north, entering a highland region with many mountains. In short, they reached the location indicated by the scientists and found a vast lake. Noria quickly tested the water and confirmed that it was pure. They were ecstatic, knowing that soon everyone could enjoy the abundant, pure water. The lake, sourced from mountain springs, would be sufficient for many people. After briefly bathing in the lake, they documented it as evidence to be distributed to everyone. As they were about to leave, they saw soldiers approaching, Commander Taro and his troops. Quickly, Noria asked Sanya to go back alone and spread the recorded evidence. If Sanya stayed, Taro would surely kill her, while Noria could handle Taro. They parted ways, and shortly afterward Taro arrived. He insisted that this information should not be made public. The government needed to control the water to maintain compliance. However, Noria disagreed, asserting that water belonged to everyone. Taro demanded Noria surrender and obey the government, but Noria stood firm in her conviction, refusing to comply. In the end, Taro had to fatally stab Noria then and there. Meanwhile, Sanya, who had hidden nearby, witnessed the tragic event. She cried upon realizing her friend had been murdered. She immediately went to the city, carrying the recorded evidence of the abundant pure water. Sanya found Noria's mother, who was teaching at the university, and handed her the recording. Without hesitation, Noria's mother showed it to her students, and people swiftly disseminated the evidence. Although Noria had passed away, her contribution would never be forgotten by the community, and she would be remembered forever. And that's it for the story series of this film. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to support this channel by subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. Goodbye.